overseen by 10,000 volunteers from 16 countries. Where is this immense peace mandala today? The NPO M21 Network in Japan has reached out to the Nepalese community urging assistance. The email is in Japanese and there might be minor discrepancies in the English translation as I am presenting this email as it is. Dear all Nepali friends, hello friends, we are the member of M21 Network writing you from Japan. This is surely not the easiest subject to talk about for all of us. However, this time we really felt the need of asking for your help, so we decided to write you all. We, Japanese supporters and all the people who have been involved in M21 Network's Patchwork Mandala project in Japan as well as in overseas have been feeling deeply disappointed and extremely sad about what's been happening between us and Mr. Surya Takali. It has been almost 30 years since we had the first idea for this project. Our aim was to create this large mandala patchwork as a prayers for the better future and call for the world peace by showing it to the world regardless of race and ethnicity. And the donation we received would go to supporting education for children in Asia and Nepal, which was our goal. It took us nearly 3 years to complete the mandala patchwork with participants who shared the same thoughts, and we unveiled it for the first time in 2002. Since then, we have held this mandala exhibition events in various countries over the past 15 years. Our wish has remained consistent from the beginning: peace and support for the children of Nepal. In 2016, we had a wonderful event to commemorate the 60th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Nepal and Japan. But shortly after that, these issues came up and mandala was taken away by Mr. Surya Takali. Since then, for 7 years, we have been unable to do any activities. It is really unbearable to see such a problem between Japan and Nepal, especially at a time when there are wars going on all over the world. We believe the world should be praying for peace as one, transcending national border. We do not want to create a rift between Japan and Nepal because we know how wonderful the country of Nepal and many Nepalese people are and how beautiful their culture and hearts are. We would like to do anything to resolve this issue, and we do not want to leave this rift to the next generation. For this reason, we sincerely hope that you will help us. We will not give up because we still believe in your country, your people, and our friendship. Thank you. Warmest regards from the member of M21 Network. Crafted by Katagiri, a Japanese citizen, in collaboration with the NPO, non-profit organization, M21 team, and overseen by 10,000 volunteers from 16 countries. Where is this immense peace mandala today? Following the exhibition of the world's largest patchwork piece mandala, 70 meter in length, 50 meter in width in Kathmandu, Pokhara and Lumbini in November 2016 as part of Japan-Nepal 60th Friendship Commemoration Program, the Nepal Buddhist Preservation Committee and M21, the co-organizer at that time, proposed the temporary preservation of the mandala in the Swayambhunath temple. Although Katagiri's M21 team later requested its return to Japan, as of now, the mandala has not been brought back to Japan. The story dates back to around 1994 when Nepali citizen Surya Takali traveled to Japan to sell Nepali tanka and handicrafts. Due to the high cost of accommodation, Surya and his wife sought assistance from their Japanese friend Kitamura to stay at his residence. One day, as everyone gathered in the room, Kitamura pointed to a large NHK building visible from the window and posed a question to Surya. If you could create a mandala resembling this building, it would be truly remarkable, don't you think? Surya responded, absolutely, we can create it. It might take around 6 months. He went on to express his vision, saying, with such a large mandala, we could generate income through exhibition. Given that I haven't had the opportunity to attend school, my dream is to establish a school in Nepal. Let's build a mandala as grand as this building, gather funds, and use them to construct a school in Nepal. In a positive turn of events, Kitamura introduced Surya to Katagiri, a Japanese national who was involved in producing programs and other activities at that time. Katagiri traveled to Nepal to explore the possibilities of constructing a mandala as large as the NHK building, and discussions took place about leasing a small piece of land in Lumbini to establish a mandala, eventually converting the site into a school. The plan also involved inviting artists from various countries to contribute to the creation of the mandala in Lumbini, aiming to raise funds for both the mandala project and the construction of a school. The Lumbini Development Committee was expected to provide land for this initiative in the name of Nepali Buddhist protection community. However, challenges arose during the fundraising phase, particularly due to the difficulty of collecting funds in the name of religion, exacerbated by some groups causing disturbance in Japan under the guise of religious activities. Despite efforts to secure funds between 1994 and 1999, the necessary amount could not be raised. Consequently, artists from different countries returned to their respective nations and the project came to a halt. Despite subsequent attempts by Surya in Nepal to gather funds, the project ultimately concluded with only a few aspects realized. Katagiri, deeply moved by the emotional farewell in Nepal, decided to take a new approach. Upon his return to Japan, he established his own team, forming the NPO M21 Network in Japan and engaging individuals from around the globe. They set out not only to create mandala as large as a building, but to make the world's largest patchwork mandala, a pioneer endeavor. This initiative wasn't solely aimed at supporting schools in Nepal, but also had a broader vision of promoting global peace and contributing to the education of children worldwide, including the construction of schools. To achieve this, a diverse team comprising professional photographers, painters, university professors, IT technicians, and patchwork artisans from Japan was assembled, and a project committee was established for the creation of a patchwork mandala. Marking the transition from war-ridden 20th century to the peace-focused 21st century, the initiative aimed to advocate for global peace and support the education for children in Nepal. Patchwork instructors from various regions of Japan were invited, with 75% of the mandalas crafted within Japan. For the remaining portion, individuals from 16 different countries worldwide joined the effort recommended by concerned parties. A remarkable turnout of over 10,000 volunteers contributed to the cause. While many foreign participants were experienced in patchwork, some were beginners, showcasing the inclusivity of the project. The meticulous preparation of the patchwork extended beyond the actual stitching. Volunteers in Tokyo undertook tasks such as photographing the original picture, refining the photo details, creating a computerized version of the photo, outputting the design, fabric production, color coordination, and assembling sets for distribution to patchworker. The NPO M21 Network managed all aspects from organizing materials like clothing and fasteners to securing necessary resources, including printers, paper, ink, etc. Additionally, a Bhutanese monk was enlisted through Surya for the original painting, with his remuneration also being deducted as a contribution to the cause. The endeavor to create the mandala involved various studies and meticulous preparation. The Mitsubishi Rayon company produced a durable fabric designed to last 1,000 years at a remarkably low cost. The mandala, measuring 70 meters in height and 50 meters in width, was segmented into 81 pieces, each entrusted to a key individual. These 81 pieces were further divided into 6 parts by height and 6 parts by width, with one coordinator assigned to each part. Approximately 36 people worked on each of the 81 pieces, requiring substantial effort to seamlessly assemble them into a unified whole. Each individual patch weighed around 20 kg. The patches were designed to interconnect using a robust fasten. YKK, a renowned company, provided a specially designed fastener capable of supporting the load. The Tokai Senko company donated their clothing to be kept at the base, and Well-Wisher contributed the sewing threads. The Miami Dye Factory was consulted for high-quality, non-fading dyes used in the mandala's creation, with 40 different colors selected. The patchwork process was predominantly carried out in Japan, accounting for 75% of mandala's creation. However, given the mandala's symbolic significance for world peace, a conference was held with foreign citizens, and a portion of the patches was separated from the main assembly and sent to different countries. Likewise, 2 patches were dispatched to Surya's coordinator in Nepal. Similar to other countries, 2 patches were crafted in Nepal. After completion, all the patches created both domestically and internationally were gathered, and the final assembly of the mandala took place in Japan. The initiative, commenced in 1999, reached completion in April 2002, spanning a period of 3 years. The grand presentation of the finished piece took place at Arena in Yokohama, Japan. Subsequently, in May 2003, NHK Japan Television broadcasted a 2-hour special program titled The World's Largest Patchwork Mandala. Following its completion, the mandala has been showcased in various locations including Hiroshima, Nagayo, Mongolia, India, Hawaii, and Nepal. The M21 organized international exhibition took place in Mongolia in 2004, and as a commemoration of this event, Mongolia issued a postage stamp named the Peace Mandala stamp. Remarkably, this stamp holds the distinction of being the largest stamp ever created globally, measuring 29 cm in length and 20 cm in width. The primary mandala image on this stamp measures 18.5 cm in height and 13.5 cm in width. Below it, there are 8 standard size stamp waves, collectively forming a single sheet that illustrates the entire lifespan of Gautam Buddha. Up until now, all programs held abroad were organized by the government or the relevant administration of that country. The main host country and organization took responsibility for the program, so there were no issues. Katagiri mentions, between 2005 and 2010, Surya lived in America due to life threats from the Maoists in Nepal. In December 2010, Surya expressed that he could now return to Nepal. Katagiri went to New York to meet him, and Katagiri also signed a document, the details of which Katagiri don't recall well. It might be the same letter based on which Surya has indicated that he will not return to the mandala. Following Surya's request to exhibit the mandala in Nepal in 2012 upon his return, Katagiri sent the mandala to Nepal. The grand exhibition took place at Dashrath Stadium during that time. Surya returned the mandala to Katagiri less than 1 week after the exhibition concluded that year. Subsequently, in November 2016, as a part of Japan-Nepal 60th Friendship Commemorative Program, the world's largest piece mandala made of patchwork was displayed in Kathmandu, Pokhara, and Lumbini. However, 3 months after the exhibition, the mandala was not returned. In a subsequent year, requests for demonstration also arrived from locations such as Japan's Tohoku, Fukushima, Okinawa, and Sri Lanka and Myanmar. However, with the mandala still not returned, the organizing team faced challenges in figuring out the next step. Katagiri expresses, to avoid causing any issues between the people of Japan and Nepal, and considering the sentiments of the volunteers who supported me, I waited for 7 years. Unfortunately, Mr. Surya did not respond to phone calls and emails. Despite my efforts, there was no progress, and the mandala was not returned. It is disheartening to face sudden rejection after our collaborative work from the beginning. I am very saddened by the situation. Regarding the MOU made in New York, Katagiri mentioned that he is not aware of any details about the MOU and its content. The MOU contains the following errors. It is written as Mandala 21st Century, which has ceased to exist as of 2010. The officially recognized name is now NPO M21 Network. The address is written around the year 2005, while the addresses as of December 2010 is in Akasaka. Generally, it has been referred to as Santi Mandala, Patchwork Mandala, Big Mandala, etc. There is no reference to Mammoth Mandala. Despite everything else, Katagiri's signatures appears to be different. Additionally, there are discrepancies in the fabric length used, the length on the base, the length of the chain, and the weight. The fabric used is 6,000 meter, not 700 meters square, ordered by M21. The length of fabric to be placed on the base is 5,000 meter instead of 3,500 meters square. The length of the chain is 2,411 meter, not 1,540 meter. The weight is 1,800 kg, not 2,300 kg. When placing an order for the base fabric, it is typically specified based on the length. Consequently, one can infer that individuals who drafted this MOU lack knowledge about mandalas. the enthusiasts for the construction and had no active involvement in this creation. Considering this aspect, it cannot be asserted that this is a MOU crafted by someone acquainted with patchwork mandala. Moreover, its suitability as an official document is questionable, particularly due to the fact that the person designated as a witness is also his own wife, a family member. Japan's NPO M21 last showcased this mandala abroad in 2006 during Mongolia's 800th commemorative program for the founding of the Mongol Empire. Since then, the mandala has not been exhibited. Concerning the creation of patchwork mandala, the construction of the patchwork mandala involves two main stages. The first step is to photograph the original image from a computer, enlarge it, and create a print. Following this, the preparation of clothing, dyeing, cutting, and other tasks is carried out in Tokyo. Surya and members of NCPBR have not played a role in this preparatory work. All activities are managed from Tokyo. The second stage involves the actual patchwork woven by individuals from different parts of the world, primarily within Japan. In this two-stage process, the first stage holds particular significance. Initially, the plan was for the mandala to be created entirely in Japan. However, due to its symbolic representation of world peace, office staff recommended the participation of patchworkers from across the globe, resulting in a call for global involvement. The mandala comprises a total of 81 pieces, with 75% of the work completed in Japan and the remaining 25 overseas. While the original plan was for exclusive Japanese involvement, the decision to include contributors from around the world was made to enhance its symbolic of global unity. In Nepal, two pieces, approximately 2.5% of the entire mandala, were crafted, with individuals associated with Suryaji leading these efforts. It stands out as the only mandala in the world created by over 10,000 individuals from various corners of the globe, all unified in their wish for peace and happiness for children. Being crafted from cloth, the mandala, like all patchwork, necessitates meticulous care to shield it from environmental factors such as humidity, temperature fluctuation, rodents, and harmful insects. Katagiri recounts, with the assistance of other friends, a meeting was arranged with Mr. Surya. During the meeting, concerns were raised about the whereabouts and conditions of the mandala by those who contributed to its creation. Permission was granted for Katagiri and a Nepali representative to visit and inspect the current state of the mandala on the following day. After the meeting, I requested a one-on-one conversation with Surya and he agreed. However, to my surprise, he abruptly left without saying anything after moving to a nearby coffee shop. The subsequent day, Katagiri was unexpectedly barred from assessing the location where the mandala was stored. Moreover, the Nepali representative's request, endorsed by the Japanese, to assess the mandala's present condition was ultimately declined. Only a single Nepali, Mr. Bhattachan, was permitted to visit the mandala site with a camera. After approximately 2 hours, Mr. Bhattachan returned, having captured images of the location. Considering the prospect of showcasing the mandala on a rock-like setting, establishing a restaurant in its vicinity, and narrating Rinpoche's stories to the audience with the potential of attracting up to 500 visitors per session, even if held only twice a day, a projected income of Rs 3 crore in 3 months was envisioned. The search for an appropriate location for this initiative is underway. Katagiri expresses a desire to bring the mandala back and exhibit it in Ibaraki, Japan, where many people have expressed their support for the project. Furthermore, discussions have taken place within the team to organize exhibition in Lumbini, the birthplace of Gautam Buddha, and other locations worldwide to contribute to the education of children. In the light of current challenging global situation, Katagiri emphasizes the increased relevance of Buddha's teaching. He envisions the mandala, a symbol of peace created by people worldwide, being disseminated to promote the significance of peace among global communities. Katagiri calls for support and initiatives to navigate through these challenging times and propagate the message of peace. Thank you.